Are you looking to buy an investment property in 2024? Do you know what kind of investment property you're looking for? What do I mean? Well, as you look at a city, as you look at a state, each state has a little variety. As you narrow it down to a city, the city will have a little bit of variety. So when you're looking at what type of investment property we're talking about, we have homes that would be considered single family, which is normally going to be a house, a townhome, or a condo. We have small multifamily. If you're looking to use conventional lending, conventional residential lending allows up to 4 units on a single property. But then we go beyond 4 units. We have smaller multifamily properties, which start at 5 and can go up a good little ways. Typically, a small multifamily property would be small enough where there is not needed staff on property. Then we go to big multifamily. What would be the defining difference? Well, that would be a staff. That would be an office. That would be somebody who's on site during the week on a regular schedule. And oftentimes there would be some type of regular maintenance on the property. So now, what type of investment property are you looking for? Now, why would we compare the differences? Well, as you look, oftentimes, the larger the property, the better the cash flow. But sometimes that property is a little too big for the everyday buyer. As we scale all the way down to the other side, and we go into the single family portfolio, these are properties that can be purchased by an investor or an owner occupant. These are going to have the largest volume of buyers. And as the market goes up or down, these properties typically move with the market more than any other type of property. These properties are centered around a residential appraisal. So let's start with the little guy. In a house, townhome, condo, these can be done through residential lending. These go normally up with the market. So the biggest benefit of these is going to be long-term appreciation. But there's a catch. You don't always get good cash flow on an individual property. When you get into a community that has amenities, maybe a condo community that has a higher association, that will definitely affect the monthly cash flow. But this is where most of your residential buyers are and have the greatest chance for appreciation. So the goal, with a little bit of money put aside each month, you are paying off the mortgage, you are building equity, and in the future, this will be a great property to give a return. Now, when we get into that small multifamily staying under 4 units, this is kind of a nice little in-between. You can still use residential lending, and oftentimes on these properties, an owner may even occupy one of the units, and it can still be done under a residential loan. You can have a better flow with the cash because you've got multiple units, and it is much easier to have a positive cash flow. Then in the future, you can move out of the unit that you moved into originally, continue to rent it, and move on to your next property with the goal of building a portfolio of properties. Now, when we cross beyond 4 and we're getting into that smaller commercial category of multifamily, you're not living on that property most of the time, and you will have better cash flow. With having regular activities that need to be done, it's easy to coordinate contractors, to keep up with routine activities, all while still not having to have a salaried staff. So this too can be the next step as you grow your portfolio and you start to see a nice monthly cash flow. Now, as we go a little bit bigger, getting a commercial loan on a full apartment complex is not that complicated. The challenge is the 20% down. When you're looking at a $10 million, a $20 million, a $50 million apartment complex, there's a lot more zeros. But with a lot more zeros on the purchase price, there's a lot more zeros on that monthly cash flow. With an apartment complex, you have on-site staff, on-site maintenance, and the process is very mechanical. We have to follow the same rules in residential real estate with a house, townhome, condo, small multifamily, large multifamily. But in the large multifamily category, it's a lot more of a system. It's a lot more of a machine. And if you're really concerned about the property, hiring a property manager for a full-on apartment complex is a fairly inexpensive cost to be able to have someone take full control of the property. And you have enough cash flow to be able to afford that expense. So, as you are looking at purchases throughout the year, as you're looking to start your portfolio or maybe grow your portfolio, let's talk. Let's talk about the things you know. Let's talk about the things you've heard. Let's see what would work best for you in your current situation. My name is Baron McWright. I look forward to talking to you very soon.